Velina Arigid. She's the kind of character who makes you feel soft and safe. Right up until you realize everyone around her is scared. She's elegant, graceful, calm, in a way that makes everybody else look disorganized just by standing next to her. She's the noble guide welcoming you into Roscaelifer, the polished face of authority, the woman who always seems to have everything under control. And she's also called the Death Witch. While the title is a bit misleading and exaggerated, it's terrifying no matter how you look at it, which makes her very different from the other administrators in the game. She's the kind of person who can smile, offer you some tea, solve your problem, and somehow make you feel like you just signed away a piece of your soul. And that's why she's so interesting, because with Velina the real question isn't is she a good person, it's this: why does her kindness feel so threatening? At first, Zen Lesson 0 introduces Velina exactly how you expect. She is well-mannered, intelligent, and kind. And later we find out she is the head of External Strategy Department, the heir to a prestigious family, and one of the key figures responsible for keeping Roscaelifer running smoothly. So naturally your first impression is simple. Velina is the stable one, the dependable one, and the adult in the room. But the game starts poisoning that first impression in the best way possible. Because once other characters start talking about her, the image starts to shift. People trust Velina, sure, but they also talk about her like she's dangerous. Not dangerous because she's unstable, dangerous because she's too effective. There is this recurring idea around her that yes, she will solve your problem, but you may not like what the solution looks like. And there is the reputation. To Bangboos, Velina isn't just one of the officials, she is the Death Witch, the smiling undertaker tied to retirement, disposal, and fear. And that detail changes everything, because now the image you saw at first starts to fade, and that gentle picture loses color. She's no longer just one of the faces of order, she's the face that nobody wants to see. And then the game gives her the perfect counterpart, Norma. Norma is chaotic, she's blunt, explosive, brilliant, and barely containable. Velina is the one cleaning up the language, containing the fallout, and translate raw disorder into something presentable. That's when Velina stops feeling like a person who simply likes control and starts feeling like someone whose entire existence is built around containing the chaos, no matter what. And this is the point where Velina becomes really fascinating, because I don't think she reads like a secretly evil person hiding behind manners, and that would be really boring. Velina feels like someone who cares. The problem is how she cares. She cares through control, and that's what makes her so unsettling. Her elegance stops feeling decorative and starts feeling tactical. Her calmness stops feeling natural and starts feeling trained. Even her tea parties start to feel less like hospitality and more like a beautifully decorated pressure chamber, where every word and action has already been accounted for. And once you see her that way, every part of her character starts snapping into place. Velina doesn't just want order because she's uptight. She seems like someone who has learned that order is safety, that if she keeps the room controlled, if she keeps people within the right boundaries, if she stays composed for everyone else, then the disaster can be contained. Which means her scariest trail isn't cruelty, it's that her protectiveness and intimidation may come from the exact same instinct. And that's why the angel and witch framing works so well, because to one person Velina is salvation, to another she is the problem, and they're both probably right. That's the real core of Velina Airgid. She is what happens when kindness hardens into control. She is the fantasy of perfect competence, but also the emotional cost of becoming that competent. Everything about her points in the same direction. She's always composed because she probably doesn't feel entitled to be anything else. She is feared because to her fear is just a tool. She is also gentle, but only in a way that never lets the situation slip beyond her reach. Now get this, she's terrible at raising and animal, which is funny on surface, but thematically that's incredible, because of course Velina can manage institution, negotiations, and human behavior, but fragile living things, unpredictable things that don't respond to pressure, stature, those are harder. And suddenly there is something almost tragic about her, because maybe Velina understands responsibility better than intimacy. Maybe she knows how to be indispensable better than know how to be vulnerable. Maybe she has spent so long becoming the person who holds everything together that she can't really step outside of that role anymore. And that's what makes her work. Not that she is secretly evil or soft, but that she feels like someone whose warmth has been compressed into something cold, sharp, and much more frightening. And honestly, that's why Velina sticks with you, because she's not just another beautiful, morally grey authority figure. She's a character about a much uglier truth, become terrifying for exactly that reason. Velina lives right on that line. She's a protector, but also an undertaker. She's comforting, but also intimidating. She feels kind, but never safe in a simple way. And that's what gives her weight. A lot of characters are built around power. Velina is built around managed power. The kind that smiles and reassures you. The kind that keeps things civil while quietly deciding what everyone else can and cannot do. That's why she works so well in her role. She doesn't just represent order, she represents the hidden emotional cost of being the one who has to keep order alive. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the subscribe and like button and let me know which CCC character I should cover next. As for the closing line, the people who will scare us the most aren't always the ones trying to destroy the system. Sometimes they are the ones who know exactly how to keep it running. Until next time.